Did you know that under the age of 35, male suicide is the highest killer?
So as in men under 35, the biggest thing that's likely to kill them is themselves?
Is themselves.
Wow.
And when you say it out loud, it then makes you really realize there is a problem
There's
here.
something going on.
There's something going on, and it's not really spoken about. And
Why do you think it's not spoken about?
it's not really spoken about because men don't really seek support. Men, we are taught to be these manly men who can ride through emotions, and we are supposed to break through barriers, and we're supposed to be conquerors as such. So then when we are faced with these type of issues, these mindsets, these problems, we feel quite embarrassed about it, or we think that, oh, you know what, we can handle it. It's nothing that serious. And then we shrug it off. But then after over a long period of time, it then becomes too intense. And this is why we then see men actually just taking their own lives. I think that it's a lot to do with feeling embarrassed. I think it's a lot to do with feeling like they can't own up to their own feelings about what they're truly feeling. And I think it's quite sad because they also don't feel like they can seek the help. They can't find the help, or they don't want to look for the help because they feel like they can just do it themselves.
Man, when I hear stuff like that, it literally, like, it gets me to the core a little bit. And I've noticed that my mind has been a big struggle over time, and like being the gatekeeper of my mind is something I've always tried to do, and I've always tried to reframe as much as I could. When I started understanding that, like, you can literally turn positives into negatives, and a mentality that I love pushing towards. And one of the guys that we're actually working with now at the moment, he expressed similar pressures. He said he felt like he's under pressure. And what I said to him, I said, bro, listen, you're not under pressure. You're in one of the best positions in society. If you're a child, you can't do much for yourself. If you're an elderly person, you kind of need support from other people to look after you. If you're an older man with a family, wife and kids, you're kind of, let's perceive you as a king. You've got your family, you've got your wife, your queen, you've got your kingdom, let's say. But if you're a young man, you're the knight. You're a knight in the middle-aged village.
The world is your oyster.
Literally, you're just before King Arthur becomes King Arthur.
It's an exciting time.
It is, because you can do anything. And if you can feel pride within yourself, if you get to a stage where you feel empowered, you can literally be walking around, metaphorically speaking, like you're on your high horse as a knight, and people will look at you. There's a successful, cool young man. There's a man who's about his life. And it doesn't matter if you're failing in terms of like what society's standards are saying, because all knights are judged on their own merit of what they do in their own battle. They're not compared to the other knights. It's just you're a knight because you're fighting the good fight. And when I put that to him, his eyes lit up, and I kind of made it up a little bit off the spot as well. And I thought, wow, I'm keeping that. So if you're a young man and you're struggling a little bit, think you're in a blessed position, because you've got scope for potential, and you can be a knight and then you can become a king.